Hello, I'm Doug, and this is the Taste and Sensibility channel. And today we're looking at 3 different wildflower honeys from 3 different continents. So wildflower is kind of an admission that you don't know what flowers the bees are going to. You're not near a crop, and the bees have the freedom to forage wherever they can find the flowers to get nectar and pollen from. So they just go out within a mile or 2, or maybe further, distance from their hives and find what they can find, and they bring back the nectar and put it in the cells of the honeycomb and evaporate the water. So if these reviews are useful or interesting to you, give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down, and leave some comments down below, and subscribe to the channel. If you click on that bell icon, you will get notified every time we release a new video on Mondays and Thursdays. But first up today is the Sandt Wildflower Honey. This is a USA company and the USA honey. And we've talked about Sandt before, and that they're a high quality company, very careful with their products and descriptions. And there will be a link to this down below in the description. Let me start this over. So on the nose, it's kind of a tart, fruity note. There's not a whole lot coming off. It's not funky, it's not sour. There's a kind of a tartness, and it's a fruity tartness. But it's not the sour funk that we get on some of them. And on the taste, wow, rich, fruity, dark fruits like raisins, plums, figs, prunes, dates, that whole group of things. Very dark and rich. Could be a little brown sugar back there. It's not fruity like fresh fruit, but it's fruity like those dried out, darker things. Brown sugar, maybe caramely, mapley notes. Wow, thick and rich and sweet. Not very floral. Very big, sweet, and very big fruit punch. Not that kind of fruit punch. So that is tasty, very strong. The next item here is Brezal, a Spanish company and a Spanish honey, wildflower honey from Spain. And I saw this wandering through Cost Plus World Market. Oh, that's not going to help. And looked interesting, so I picked it up. And it turned out to be a non-varietal from a careful honey company in Spain. They have a website, haven't seen it before, but I checked today, and the website's pretty good. So on the nose, there's not much coming off. Little sour and tart, but not very floral, not very fruity that I'm getting. Ooh. Fruity, but they're tartar fruits. They're not as dark as these, they're not as sweet as those. Overall effect is more like berries. They have some tartness or acid, but they're fruity. I don't have good descriptors. It's not fruity like I've had in other honeys. There's not a lot of aroma either. you know it's a plant product? And it's been around fruit, flowers, something. Very interesting. I might try this on the bread. Let's see how we do as a squeeze bottle here, now that I've had the cap off. Hope it doesn't turn into a loose mess. Okay, that should overdo it just fine. Yep, there's a hole we can leak through. Oh wow. The fruitiness and tartness and sweetness are all in there. And all those flavors are competing with the rye bread and caraway seeds. It's delicious. And maybe it's because I put on too much. And the strong bread notes don't cover it up at all. Good, fruity, sweet, all the interesting things you're looking for in a honey. Lick. So, I was unfamiliar with this one, but it's very good. So Wildflower honeys might not be as consistent in their taste or form or color or anything as other honeys that we're used to, as the single flower varietals, because there's lots of changes from season to season or region to region. The wildflowers in Spain might be totally different than the wildflowers in another part of Spain. They can make the wildflower honey from one limited region vary quite a bit. Now, the last choice here today is from the Bee Seasonal Company. I think they're importers of Brazilian honey. I got the sample pack for $25 for 4, so it's kind of steep for what it is, but you got to try these 4 very exotic, wild tasting, wild smelling honeys. And today I am smelling funky, sour, decaying things on the nose. Let's see what it says. Curated organic honey from Brazilian wildflower is the only name, and they have the harvest dates. The months are October, November, December. So it's the summertime, spring and summer portion of Brazil's climate. So I did the smell. Now focus, Doug. Let's taste next. That's what we want to do. Wow. Totally different palette. Totally different. It's like those more exotic floral things. Yeah, like Tasmanian Manuka and Tasmanian Leatherwood. That's the closest comparison. It's not as intense as those, but there's a whole host of flower smells coming up, but not until it gets on your tongue. So I must be tasting the chemicals, the compounds that make the flower smells, or they're vaporizing in my oral cavity and I'm smelling the results. Wow. Floral. It's kind of sweet. Not especially fruity, but it's pretty intense and a different kind of experience. I'm going to do a little of this on the bread, although I have such a small sample, and I was really hoping to put it in tea. Let's put it on a little corner and see how it turns out. This is very interesting. experience because you usually don't taste floral things to that extent. Okay, try this on rye bread. All those exotic flavors and smells are on top of everything. They're taking over the rye bread. There's not a lot of rye taste, not a lot of caraway taste. They've hijacked the whole thing. Wow. And it's strong and quite an influence. So we'll do the same thing with the tea. This is going to be interesting, I think. Mild black tea here. Wow. I'm not sure I'm getting all that intense floral component that I got on the bread, and I got neat tasting this wildflower honey. Wow. Certainly sweetens, that's for sure. I put it in here, and those floral and fruity components are not there. Or I'm not picking it up. The tea's not so hot that you're not tasting things. It certainly will vaporize. Wow, so that's very interesting. It's on the bread, not in the tea. That's why we do the experiments. Okay, so as I mentioned, we're winding down the honeys in the next few episodes and having a few special types of presentations. So stay tuned for all those things, and that's all for now.